Hello everyone, welcome to another weekly video. So I want to talk to you all about change. Now this is probably going to be a short video, which is probably okay since the other one was pretty long. So change. As you know, I started my new job and I was going to give you an update on that. So I'll do that while I'm at it since you know that was a change and I want to talk to you about changes. So there we go. So my new job is actually going very well. I thought it was going to be hard getting used to the difference of pace, the difference of work styles and all that, but it actually feels quite natural, which is surprising. And here's the things that's different, right? Where I used to work, we worked with a team. You worked in a stable place, and you go back there every single time. You have different shifts. You have the day shift, the night shift, the in-between shift. And you work in weekends, you work on holidays, you work very varying hours. Now the work I do now, that's not really the case. I work 9 hours a day for 4 days a week. It's always the same days. I have a caseload of several people, and I kind of figure out with these people when in this 4 day work week I come to see them. So I need to find a way to get all these people into those 4 days. And that's doable because some of them live near each other, and some of them you see once every 2 weeks, and some of them you see every week, and some of them you see for 2 hours, some of them you see for 1 hour. One of them you don't see that much because they don't need it that much. But you need to kind of figure that out. And you need to figure out a rhythm where that is doable for the long term as well. So you have 4 times 9 hours to make that work. And in between, you either go to a place where you do your administration, or you do it at the normal workplace, or you do it home on your laptop that you have from work. So you can kind of figure out yourself how you are gonna make those 9 hours a day work. Now, for me personally, I've decided that I'm gonna do pretty strict work hours for myself. So I've decided to start at 8:30 and go home at 5:30. That means that I usually start at the actual workplace, do a little prep there, and then go visit my first client. And then probably come back, do some typing, go visit the second client, or maybe visit a few clients in a row and then do my typing at work. But because I do it like that, I still have a solid base to start from. So that's the nicest way for me to work with it. And others, they may start at a client's place and do all their clients in the morning and then go home and do all their administration in the afternoon at home. But personally, I kind of like to keep work at work as much as possible, so this way just works for me. And the great thing about this way of working is if you're like half an hour early, no one's surprised. If you're half an hour late, no one's surprised. If you work out that maybe one day you're gonna work 8 hours and the next day you're gonna work 10, all that's it's fine. It doesn't matter how you do it as long as it gets done. And that just gives a lot of freedom and a lot of just wiggle room to make it work for you. Now personally for me, like I said, I kinda like to stick to that 8:30 to 5:30 thing just because it helps me stay in a rhythm. And after my previous job, I really need that. So even if I don't have my client until 10 o'clock, I will still start at 8:30. But that's just me. That's just my work ethic. That's just the way I function. That may change in time. I may be more flexible in that I will do a little more work at home, or maybe if my caseload expands, then I might need to be a little flexible in that. Maybe start earlier, maybe work later, just we'll see. But for right now, I just started with a pretty steady rhythm. So yeah, that's the way my work is, and I'm really loving it because this means that I have 3 days off, which is pretty cool. It means that I don't have night shifts anymore. I have bank holidays are holidays for me as well. So it's just so much more steady, and it's still a lot of fun because you get to see several people in their own homes, and you get to do different things for the different people in their own homes, and that just makes it very varying, but also very personal. And yeah, it's like a perfect combination for me, I guess. So I'm happy. And that brings me to the whole change thing. Because as I said in another video, it took me a long time to make this step. I have done the same type of work for about 12 years. And the first 4 years were in one team, and the next almost 8 years were in another team. And I haven't moved from that place. Now, the thing is, it's scary to make a new step. Change is scary. And that's why so many people fear it. That's why so many people are not quite ready. Because what if you can't do it? What if you chose wrong? What if you give up one thing and you have your whole goodbye, you have the whole emotional thing, and then a year later you decide, you know what, I'm back. That just feels weird, right? What if you decide to do something completely different, leave all you know behind, and start over? What if it doesn't go right? What if you can't find what you want to do? What if you get into financial trouble? What if, what if, what if? There are so many what ifs that it scares people. And I get it. It was scary for me too. But here's the thing, it's not just scary, right? And we're kind of conditioned to be scared of change in a way, because that is how we keep society running. At least that's the way I see it. Here's the thing, if we'd all be changing jobs and we'd all be changing everything every 30 months, every 6 months, society probably collapse because you would have absolutely no stability. So we work with contracts, we work with security, we work with promises, and the flip side of that is break that promise and you'll be punished. Change what you do, and what if you fail? You gotta have an education because what if you don't? No one will hire you. There's all these like scare tactics, right? When in reality, so many people have no education and they work themselves up and they are incredibly, incredibly well off. Or they invent their own jobs and they live their dream. I mean, it basically tells you nothing. It just tells you how small minded society is. So, in the end, you just gotta do what's right for you. And you gotta realize that, yes, change is scary, but it's also exciting. Because with change comes growth. You can't grow when you're stuck in one place. Your comfort zone, that's where the growth stops. So every now and then, when you feel that little spark coming up, you gotta at least try to change a little. That's how you grow, that's how you evolve. And when you grow, you create possibilities, right? And if there's possibilities for others as well. You can inspire others. And that just creates inclusivity. I know that sounds weird, but think about it. When you have the fear of change, you think of that as a negative thing because who wants to be afraid? Who likes the feeling of fear, right? That's not a happy feeling. So that's a negative sense to the whole change thing. And one of the reasons that we fear change, because it's negative, it kind of has that basic survival fear of no longer fitting in. Because you're no longer a functioning part of society, because you're doing something different, because you're doing something that other people think is negative and dangerous and scary, you are now an outsider. And no one wants that. Way back when we were still living in cages, being an outsider meant you would die. And that fear is still there inside us. So that's all kind of things that we don't want. That's why people are so afraid of change. But if you look at change as opportunities, as growth, as exploration, as chasing your dreams, as inspiring to others, you can come into new situations. You can create new situations where you can actually include others in your success, in your exploration, in your whole vibe, in everything you're doing. And that is incredible. You can actually create new communities and maybe even create new jobs. Because if it's like change is also innovation, right? And when people are innovative, they create new things. And that invites new people in. So change can be this incredible, incredible, powerful thing. So please, please do not get stuck on the whole fear part because there is so much excitement to be found in change. Now, here's the thing, it doesn't mean that the fear isn't legit. It is. It can go wrong. You can get in trouble if you don't think it through, or if you don't have a plan, or if you don't follow your heart, or if you change because of fear or because someone tells you you should. If you're not behind it, if it's not your choice, then it very well might go wrong. But here's the thing, if you are ready for the change, if the change is because you want to, because you need to, then there is always a next logical step. And that is something to get excited about. So, yes, be mindful when you change, and most specifically, why you change. But if you want to change and you're ready for it, don't just stick to the fear. Also, look for the excitement, for the possibilities, and for the self care because sometimes you need change to take care of you. Sometimes the place you're in, it holds you back, it makes you small, it makes you sad, angry, upset, anxious, and that is not a place that any human being should want to be in. So when you're in that place and you need that change, change. Go for it, go for the excitement, go for the adventure, go for something new and see how you can explore it, see how you can be your very best self in that situation. And it doesn't have to happen from one day to the next, and you don't have to have it all figured out. That's kind of the fun thing about change is you get to explore, you get to grow. And who doesn't want to grow? Who doesn't want to evolve? If we didn't grow, if we didn't evolve, if we didn't change, we would still be living in cages today. Or cages, or maybe that too, but caves most definitely. We'd still be living in caves. We would still be making fire by hand. People needed to be innovative. People needed to change and evolve. So we don't have to fear that. We have to fear not evolving. We have to fear not growing. So please, if you're ready to evolve, if you're ready to change, don't let the fear hold you back. If you are ready, if you want it, go for it. Do your research. Make sure it feels right for you. But don't let it hold you back from doing what you really want to do. That's my advice for now. Or advice, that's the way I see it. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye.